Hey everybody! Gonna do my laundry. Somehow lost my roll of quarters in between my front door and the laundry room. So let's talk about a movie instead. Labyrinth. This college roommate, I had a drinking game that we made up in our dorm room. So Amanda, this one is for you. Labyrinth, Jim Henson classic. We start with Jennifer Connelly. Yes, Jennifer Connelly. She's in a park with her dog, and she's wearing some sort of dress-up costume and reenacting some play from the book Labyrinth. This is psychotic behavior. I guess actors do this all the time. They rehearse, but she's in a very public place playing dress-up for no real reason. It starts raining, and she says, "Oh, I'm late." Runs home. Stepmother, so of course she's clearly very put upon. Dad and stepmother are going out. She has to watch the baby, who's wearing cute, adorable striped pajamas. And she's so angry. She's that, why do I have to watch the baby? Blah 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 blah. In her room, and she's pouting. And then Toby, the baby, he starts crying. And she goes into the room and she tells him the story of this Goblin King. He fell with a girl from afar, and she had to take care of a baby, but she said some magic words, and he took the baby away from her. I don't know, but her own story, right? And then she says, and the magic words were, and then we see this shot of all of these little goblin Muppet faces, and I swear to Muppet face that's down in this part of the screen looks like the French teacher from my high school. She gets the magic words wrong, and the goblin's like, oh man. And she gets the magic words right. Lights go out, and the baby stops crying, and she's like, oh my gosh. And then all of a sudden there are goblins in this bedroom. And then this owl comes in and turns into, wait for it, David Bowie. His name is Jareth the Goblin King. His hair is so 80s. Here was one of the first rules of the drinking game. Every time you see David Bowie's bulge, I think you know what I'm talking about, you have to take a drink. Very tight pants. Tells her that he's taking the baby because she asked him to. He's so upset. And he says, okay, well, I'll give you a chance to win the baby back. And he transports her to this magical land outside of the Labyrinth, the title. You have to make it to my castle in 13 hours. You can take the baby back home. And then she says, but it isn't fair. Rule number 2 of the anytime Sarah says it's not fair, take a drink. Outside the labyrinth wall, she can't figure out how to get in. She meets Hoggle, who had a puppet face, but a person's body, a curmudgeon. Shows her the way into the labyrinth. The wall goes on forever. Know what to do. Isn't fair. Oh, she's ready. She says it a lot. And she sits down and pouts. And then, hello, the cutest little blue worm you ever did see, tells her they're not what they appear to be. And you can walk through this wall. It's an optical illusion. He says, never go that way, because she's gone that way. It would have taken her straight to that castle. But then we'd have no movie, so we got to keep going. Let me think. Comes to a door, and there are these 2 knockers, and she has to choose which door to go in. Is that the one where? No, I'm thinking another door situation. Then she hears growling sound. She finds this huge puppet upside down and hanging from a rope, and he's being tortured by these other weird puppet piranha men. All of a sudden she finds these rocks next to her. She throws the rocks. She rescues him. His name is Ludo. Ludo talks like this. Makes a friend, and she's finally not pouting for once. She's at Goblin King's castle, where Jareth, the Goblin King, aka David Bowie. You're drinking here because he has a bulge in his pants. He's very mad, making it so far, and he is going to take a minute to sing Dance Magic Dan, and it is the greatest thing ever. Then Sarah meets Hoggle again. Hoggle is pretending that he doesn't like Sarah, but he really does. I think I skipped ahead. At some point, there's another door, and there's a head up here and a head down here. There's some riddle involved. Gets the riddle wrong. Maybe she gets it right. I've never understood it before. One of them always lies, and one of them always tells the truth, and she blah blah, you don't care. Anyway, she ends up going down this secret tunnel, and there are hands everywhere, and then the hands talk to her I can't do it because I only have 2 hands. Hoggle shows up and lets her out. She's like, oh, thank you, you're so nice, Hoggle. So she walks along, and then Jareth shows up, and he is mad at Hoggle for helping her. Jareth gives Hoggle a peach and gets Sarah to eat it. So it says to Hoggle that if Sarah ever kisses Hoggle, he will send Hoggle to the bog of eternal stench. So continuing along, some sort of swampy forest area, and you know what these guys were called. Their whole deal is that they can take their body parts off, and they want to take her body parts off because that's a normal part of their life. This part used to scare me so much as a this is a children's movie. Jim Henson, kind of wonder what you were thinking. Escapes from, and Hoggle shows up again. Want to give her the peach, but he does give her the peach. I totally skipped ahead. I forgot about Sir Didymus. At some point we meet Sir Didymus, another little dog puppet who is riding a real dog. He kind of joins the merry band of players. We have Ludo, we have Hoggle, who is kind of a double agent, and now we have Sir Didymus on his dog. She kisses Hoggle for some reason. Of course, they get sent to the bog of eternal stench. You are submerged into the bog at all, you smell bad forever. But they escape because, oh, look, Ludo can talk to rocks. The rocks come up, and they're able to walk to safety. Then he gives her the peach. She starts to feel really weird. David Bowie just roofied a teenager, which sends some really strange messages to the children. A weird acid trip where she is like at a ball and all of a sudden her hair is very big and David Bowie's there and everybody's wearing a mask. David Bowie is singing this song. I feel uncomfortable. She's a teenager. She's under the influence. I don't know what you're doing, David Bowie. Kind of snaps out of it and she smashes the wall of this like weird snow globe acid trip thing she's in, and she lands in essentially a Muppet dump. In the Muppet dump is this lady who has like stuff all over her and she's very scary, squinched face. Oh, and Sarah has forgotten everything. Maybe. And the woman says, oh, come in here. And she takes Sarah into this room. It looks exactly like her bedroom at home. And so Sarah thinks, I'm home, no big deal. And then she opens the door and that crazy dump lady is still there. And then the dump lady is showing her all of her things, trying to make her forget. Sarah's like, there's something I have to remember. What is it? Your brother is being held captive by a pedophile in a castle. So she finds her Labyrinth book, which makes her remember Toby. She's going to save Toby. Finally, they're at the Goblin City. The goblins are coming out in droves to try and fight for people. And then there's this giant robot goblin, but they defeat that too. Big deal. At one point, you think they're done for. They're surrounded. They're in this little hut. Don't forget, Ludo can talk to rocks. So the rocks come and save the day. Sarah gets into the castle. David Bowie is there, and he's kind of mad that she showed up. Oh, it's like he loves her, he doesn't love her. What is going on, David Bowie? What do you want? Then there's this like Escher painting scene where the stairways are going all different ways. And Toby. Rule number 3. Every time somebody said Toby, she jumps off the stairway, which makes the stairways like break apart into a million pieces. It's just her and Jareth. I don't know where Toby went. Never really understood this part. She tells him, you have no power over me, which is like the magic word. And the next thing we know, she's transported back into her room. Oh, thank goodness that's over. She goes back into the baby's room. Oh, he's still there. He looks so sweet and cute. Everything is fine. She goes back to her room. She's looking in her mirror and she's starting to feel sad about all her friends she left behind in Goblin Land, where she was kind of tortured psychologically by the Goblin King. But she's sad about her friends. She sees them in the mirror and they're like, we'll always be here for you. And then she turns around and everybody actually is in her room and it's very happy. Even those weird fire creatures are in her room, which I always found a little upsetting because they're just going to try and take her head off when she's not looking. But it's a happy ending. Yay, Jennifer Connelly. Can I also mention outfit in this movie? I wanted an outfit like that so bad. Peasant blouse, some skinny jeans, some loafers, and and a vest. The vest is what brings it all together. I thought it was perfect. What do we learn from this movie? The Goblin King might be a pedophile. Never trust a peach from a Muppet. Sometimes people who talk to rocks can come in handy. Really great movie. It's a little weird looking back on it, but kids love it. Thanks for tuning in. I think that was worth not doing my laundry tonight. I really hope I find that roll of quarters tomorrow.